Bring your giggles and don't forget those smiles, because this episode we're yucking it up with some silly little segments. Right on schedule, we're bringing you a brand new Businesses Someone Should Start, Just Not Us, that promises to change the ADHD tidying game forever. In Informative Infodumps, Grace hurts her own feelings with a bunch of facts about left-handedness that will have you saying, I'm so glad I'm not left-handed. Unless you already are, in which case, welcome to the club, you kaggy-fister. Plus, Kristin gets the party planning eye twitch. Grace becomes a theoretical lampshade maker. We reveal embarrassing pizza secrets, and more.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn. And most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention. There's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather. Ah! Caw-caw!
All right. Get some room sounds.
Room sounds.
No, quiet.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, room sounds.
Okay. I always forget to breathe during room sounds.
You shouldn't breathe. Don't breathe.
I don't breathe.
Good.
And then once you cut it, I'm like,
yeah, I do the same thing. Good.
Gasping.
You should practice your lung capacity.
Yeah, it's not great.
That makes you gasp. It's not great.
Not great. It's poor lung function.
Lunction. Stupid.
So stupid.
Hate myself. All right, let's pretend I didn't say that and get into this episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace.
I'm your host, Kristin.
Get it together.
I got the giggles.
You do have the giggles. Well, that's good, because we're going to do a bit of a silly episode today. So giggles are welcome. Bring your smiles.
All right.
Bring your laughs.
Smiles on.
Get those chuckles.
Chucking it up.
Chucking it up. All right. I have a very quick warm-up question for you.
Sure.
Real yes or no question.
Sure.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Maybe.
Maybe. I said it's a yes or no question.
I don't think it's a yes or no question.
It is. There's no nuance. Yes or no.
Is it like total darkness? Is it, just like all the lights went off in the bedroom? Is it I'm in by myself in the woods and it's dark out? Is it like dimming? Like I think there's many levels of dark.
Are you afraid to be in a dark place by yourself?
With my thoughts? Yeah,
well,
sure.
I meant more like, are you scared of like your surroundings when you can't see them? Not, are you afraid to be alone?
I think any reasonable person should be.
Right? It's like a survival instinct. But like even in your bedroom, like are you scared of the dark? Like at night, do you get scared of the dark?
I guess a little bit, yeah.
I'm like very scared of the dark. It like really scares me. I do the little kid thing where you turn off all the lights downstairs and then you like run upstairs really fast because it's like you feel like a monster's chasing you. I still do that.
We do a lot of I have a lot of night lights throughout the house. So maybe I am scared of the dark. I also...
You've accommodated for it.
Well, it's also a safety issue as someone who has 3 cats who love to just walk under your feet in the dark. Because maybe my vision isn't as great as the cat's vision.
Their vision is much better than yours.
And how many times have I kicked a cat accidentally? Many times.
How many on purpose? Tell us now here on the podcast.
0. Although sometimes
you heard it here first.
John Ralphio, I think about it, but I don't act on it because he is a lot. But I guess I've just without thinking about it, accommodated for myself.
You've built your life around
right
your fear of darkness.
Did you ever go into the caves when you lived on the West Coast?
Yes.
Underneath St. Helens?
I didn't do those caves, but I did crystal caves in Wisconsin or Wyoming or somewhere. Caves in general really scare me.
Yeah. So you can go through these lava tubes underneath Mount St. Helens or like in that area, and you have to like you can either rent a rickety old lamp like a prospector, which my friend did the first time she went. It's total darkness. You can't see anything.
No.
She's like, yeah, I just rented a lamp. And I'm like, why would you bring a headlamp?
Rented an old-timey lamp.
Modern technology. They have headlamps for sale at the little box where you get the lamps. They get the
She wanted the authentic feel.
She said it was terrifying. So I went. It's pretty cool, but like midway through, I like to just like whoever I'm with, I make them shut off their headlamps and we just sit there in the dark for a little bit.
I would not do that. I make up stories
it's
in my
cool.
head.
If you've ever been to the lava tubes, let me know. Maybe we can go together sometime.
Couple of tubers.
All
right, that was my warm-up question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
Thanks.
Not a yes or no question. They're never yes or no questions.
Well, tell that to yourself, because I was going to say I have a bone to pick with you about some of your poll questions, because they really stress me out how there's no room for nuance.
Well, that's the whole point of a poll question.
Well, then if this is not a yes or no, then your poll questions are also not a yes or no. There's no room for nuance. Like, are you a good employee was one specifically where I was like, it really depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes no.
I will try to put more options.
Thank you. It's never just yes or no. Unless it's, are you scared of the dark? And then the answer is yes.
Depends on the level of darkness and where I am at the time.
Peak darkness.
Peak darkness. Am I in my own home?
We got to move on.
Okay. We don't have time.
We don't have time for that level of nuance. Everyone at a baseline should be scared of the dark.
I think it's reasonable.
Right? Makes sense. All right. Since we're doing just segs this episode. Just segs. It's time to get into This Is Who I Am Now. You got the song? This time it's different. Everything has changed.
This is who I am now.
This is who I am now.
Magical.
The audience loves when we do that.
Yeah. It really comes through on the audio, too.
Yeah. I think our voices really meld together in one beautiful harmony.
Really harmonious.
Yes.
It's like angels singing.
Yeah. Is that angels? Oh, no, it's just
us. Sister Act? What?
It's just us. Oh, I love the movie Sister Act
a great
so
movie.
much. I will follow him. Follow him wherever he may go. Oh. All right. Kristin. There isn't an ocean too deep, too deep. Who are you now?
I am a party planner.
Oh.
For one particular party.
Yeah.
And I'm stressed about it.
You are very stressed.
I've never been so stressed.
That's
my
a lie,
eye started twitching again. You know how my eye twitched when I get really stressed?
Yeah.
The right one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening again.
You're just having like a little going away party.
I
for
know.
Someone.
Oh yeah, I know. With it's look at it. Can you see it?
No, but I believe you.
It's going right now.
I believe you.
It's I don't need to be stressed. We were gonna do this for fun, and now I'm stressed.
Yeah, but the planning's going well.
Yeah, I did a thing I don't normally do, and I asked my parents for help.
Wow, good job. It's hard to ask for help.
It's hard to ask for help, and they delivered. Marty was on it for the yard work. And
he's a dad through and through.
Yeah, he mowed the lawn, even though it didn't really need to be mowed, but it's mowed.
Father's work is never done.
Yeah, I know. and he did all these things, so that was very helpful. And then my mom, she is a very good party planner because she does all our Thanksgivings and Christmas yes.
Yeah. The plural form of Christmas.
So she's got a lot of experience under her belt. So although her version of a low-key party and my version of a low-key party are really different.
Yes.
And we got in an argument about whether or not there was going to be a vegetable salad. And I said that if I have a vegetable tray, I don't think I need a vegetable salad.
That's what I said.
Because that's what you said, right? And I think that makes perfect sense.
Right?
You don't need that many vegetables.
No. People are there for a party, not for veggies.
Right? There's going to be other sides. And then she, what she did? She took me through meal course by meal. She's like, what are your appetizers? What are your sides? What is your main event? So I think it's going to be okay.
I think you got it. I think it's going to be a pretty low. How many people are coming?
Like 15.
I thought you were going to say 50. I was like, oh my God.
No. 15.
All right, 15 is manageable.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You're a
It's
pro
gonna be fine.
party
It's
planner.
gonna be fine.
Is this the last party you're going to plan for a while? I think it should be.
I think
Based
it
on
should
your
be.
level of
Yeah, I think-
stress, based on your eye twitch.
Right. Well, I think it's because it's my coworkers. It's more stressful. Like my family members, I'm like, they'll get there. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But my coworkers have thrown some elaborate parties in the past, so it'll be interesting.
You got it. You
It's
can
gonna be
update
great.
us afterwards.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Anyway, Grace.
Yes.
Who are you now?
Ooh, turned a little ghostly there.
Yeah. It was spooky season,
That was
so
a
I
good
had
one.
to.
Just in time for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I am a DIY Victorian fringe lampshade maker in my mind. In my mind.
So when you say fringe, do you mean like on the edge, or do you just mean like the little
No, I mean,
fancy trimming?
Physical fringe.
Yeah, okay.
Like a lot of little danglies hanging down.
Because wouldn't that be weird if you were like a Victorian fringe?
It's
What does
very
that mean?
fringe, yeah.
Yeah,
It's on the outskirts of society.
that's lovely. How many have you made?
0.
Oh, okay.
Just in my mind. I said in my mind.
Oh, so they're like a theoretical lampshade
Yes,
maker.
that's
okay.
what I should have
yeah.
said. Theoretical lampshade maker is who I am now. I really love the lamps that are in What We Do in the Shadows.
Sure.
Which are like the fabric covered lamps that they usually have like a red fabric or like a pink fabric or purple.
moody
and
fabric.
Yeah, they give a cool glow. Yeah, moody is a good
And
word.
you love different colored light bulbs, so
I
that
do.
makes sense.
I know, and I just think they're so cool, and they have such a cool ambiance, but of course they're like so fucking expensive to actually
Mhm.
buy one. So I was like, I feel like that's something I could make. So I've been looking up a lot of tutorials on how to make your own lampshades,
Yeah.
and
Do you follow Ace of Shade on TikTok?
I don't, but I will now.
You have
because
to. She's the
she's-
best TikToker.
I think she will make me feel bad about myself
Oh.
because I'm just trying to like do the basics of like how to make a
Oh.
lampshade,
I find her videos very like therapeutic.
Maybe one day I will aspire to that level, but she's doing a lot of like rouging and like dyeing the fabric herself. and like,
she does. She does a lot.
no, I'm just trying
She's
to like
an artiste.
I'm just trying to buy a lampshade from Goodwill or whatever, take the old fabric off, have just the skeleton of the metal shape of a lampshade, cover it with new fabric that will be cool, and then like add some fringe on there. So
Add some fringe on
I
there.
got all these plans. I'm trying not to go too piss fountain with it and like you know,
Maybe. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing some research first.
Yes.
Before diving in.
Yep.
Like your piss fountains.
I'm going to start simple. Well, the piss fountains thing was like I was doing too much research and I had too big of goals for myself. So like that's why I don't
Reasonable
want to look
goals.
at Ace of
Yeah.
Shades yet.
Sure.
'cause
Sure.
Unattainable. Not going to be me.
That's fair.
Not trying to be her, I'm just trying to add some ambiance to my living room. So I'm going to start with a small one, see how it goes. Nothing crazy. I'm not opening a shop yet. We'll just see if I make one. I hope I do.
I hope you do too.
That would be nice.
Yeah, and bring this theory into reality.
Yeah. My theoretical lampshades.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you in this journey.
Thanks. I'm excited
Yeah.
for myself as well. I hope I follow through. Only time will tell. All right.
Okay.
Shall we chug-a-lug on to the next seg?
Chug-a-lug.
Chug-a-lug.
Do people say that?
I don't know. I'm saying it.
Okay.
I feel like it's a thing people say. Chug-a-lug. Right?
Maybe.
I mean, not in everyday conversation. But I'm saying it now.
Okay. All right.
Let's chug-a-lug on to the next segment. All right. So for this segment,
Yeah.
many moons ago,
Yeah.
we falsely claimed that we would be alternating the second segment between I'm So Quirky and Businesses Someone Should Start, Just Not Us.
Oh, that's right.
Then we promptly went on to never do that segment ever again. We never did it once ever since we claimed that.
I forgot about
We
that.
just continue to do I'm
the
So Quirky.
quirks.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So I am following through on
Look
a
at
promise
you.
we made.
I would say we're consistently inconsistent.
Right?
Yeah.
And here we are. We never
I
said when it
remember
would
that was
happen.
like episode 4 or
We
something.
said it so
We're
early
like,
on.
yep, we're going to do that. That's the plan. And then we never did it.
Just, which is very quirky of us.
Yeah.
I think I did that as a quirk of ours
So
once.
technically, this is an I'm So Quirky, right?
Well, no, technically, this is a Businesses Someone Should Start, Just Not Us.
Okay.
And we're switching it off with I'm So Quirky, which is what we promised.
We promised and we're delivering.
We're doing it now.
We're
Look at us.
switching it off, but at a inconsistent rate.
Yeah, we'll just do like 70 I'm So Quirkies for every one businesses want to start.
Right. And then you should expect about 70 I'm So Quirkies after this.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll do another one. So, but for now, I came up with what I believe is a genius business idea.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
I'd like to pitch it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
right.
I'm ready. I'm pretending I didn't read the script earlier.
You have no idea what this business is.
No.
All right. I propose we start, not us, actually. We don't. Someone, the royal we, start a business that is a cleaning service that only threatens to come to your house, but it never actually does. And this is specifically for people who like need to put a lot of clutter away. It's not necessarily people who are looking for a deep clean because you're not going to get it because they're not going to show up.
Right.
They're going to threaten to show up. And so you're like, oh no, I better like pre-clean my house and like move all this clutter so the cleaners can clean the surfaces and floors and whatever.
Yeah.
And then they never show up.
That's great.
Right?
I love it.
I was thinking that like alternative, it could also be like a fake friend maybe who schedules like a time to come over, but they never actually come.
And like not a really good friend because like if I called you and I was like, I'm by your house in 10 minutes, you would have been like, all right.
I don't give a shit. I mean, yeah, you can tell by the laundry pile in the bathroom though. I'm like, oh, Kristen's coming. Who cares?
Just the laundry pile that's always there.
Yeah, that's our bathroom laundry pile.
Yeah.
You're right.
I put my clothes there too sometimes.
Yeah, just throw it in.
They need a wash.
Yeah, you're right. It needs to be like an acquaintance.
An acquaintance that you don't know very well.
Yeah, so you need to feel like the social shame.
Right.
Enough to, want to tidy up. But either way, I feel like the threat of a real visit has to like really feel authentic.
Right.
So like maybe there's a charge if the service ever does show up and you haven't tidied up yet.
Right.
Which, again, it's never going to happen. But the customers don't know that.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
They could come anytime.
They could.
And there's going to be a steep fee if you haven't tidied yet.
Right. Maybe like once every like 10 or 12 times. Maybe like once a year.
All right.
They come. So you don't know when it is.
You're right. And then behind the scenes, they don't actually come.
They don't actually come.
Not once.
We're going to come once a year. But
for the service, for the sake of the public, they'll be coming. They're coming.
They're coming.
Once to 10 times a year. They will actually show up. So you better tidy up.
You better tidy it up.
But I think it's a good idea.
I think that's a great idea. That would get me motivated.
Right?
Right?
It's a great motivator. Then you have the relief of someone not actually showing up. And look at that. You've already tidied a bunch.
And now you can just relax and actually like do what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And now you've got a tidy space. I think it could really help those of us out there whose houses are covered in shame piles. And I don't know. I think someone should get on this idea and obviously give us 50% of the profit is the deal.
Yep, that's the deal.
Yep.
We came up with it.
Ideas are not free, my friends.
Yep. Even though we're just shouting them into the air.
Yes, into the air.
Into the air.
You
have some name ideas, right?
Yep, I was going to say we have some business name ideas.
Okay. Hit me with some business names.
First one. There better not be any clutter or else cleaners. There's one. We're seriously coming over this time, cleaners. I like when the names feel like very threatening.
Yeah.
This next one's a little wordy, but I think it's worth it.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. It's called An Unexpected Guest is Definitely Stopping By Later, so you better start pre-cleaning to hide your secret shame and sons.
I like that. I like the and sons because it sounds so official.
It's a family business. Yeah.
I'm going to keep it in the family.
Yeah. And then my last one is just Stevie's Little Scrubbers. You don't have to be named Stevie, but it does help. Nice and simple.
Yeah. Stevie could be an idea.
A metaphorical Stevie.
Metaphorical Steve.
A concept.
Stevie.
Stevie, please.
I like that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I thought of 1 to your 10.
All right. What you got?
Are you ready?
Yep.
Be there in 10 tidiers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Be there in 10. That'd be like very stressful.
So stressful. You get so much done though. And then in 10 minutes, you're like, okay.
I'm ready for the cleaners.
Ready. Yeah.
And then maybe they don't show up and you're like, oh, I have more time to tidy.
Right.
That's the best feeling. When someone's supposed
maybe
to come
they're running late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
it could be.
they're just stuck in traffic.
Yeah. We're stuck in traffic tidiers. That could be another title. Yeah. Be there in 10, but we may be a bit late, so keep tidying tidiers.
I remember when I was living out west by myself, the first time my parents were going to come visit, there was a couple things that went late. I was going to they were going to come out Saturday morning. I was going to pick them up at the airport, and I ended up being at the hospital until like 11:30 at night. and my apartment's a mess. So I'm like just tidying. And their flight kept getting delayed.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. They were stuck at New York airport for hours. But they were supposed to be here at like 9 on Saturday morning. They didn't get in until like 12 a.m. Sunday morning or something.
Oh my God.
So
bet your apartment's never been cleaner.
I spent the whole day cleaning. I like got the baseboards. I went out grocery shopping. I had a cheese board ready for them. I looked great. And I was like, wow. They're like, we're so tired, but wow, you did so much work. You didn't have to do this. I was like, I was nothing. Just did it in my spare time where I'm like slaving away, just sweating.
Yep.
That's
the best, though. That's
great.
when I clean the most, is when I think I only have a very short time.
Right,
and then it ends up being like, surprise, you got more time. Might as well keep going.
Keep going, and that's what I did. I did everything.
So maybe another name could be like a day late, although we don't want to, once again, we don't want to let people know
right.
that they're going to be
there
late.
in 10.
The fret, you're right. The fret has to feel real, even though it's not real.
It's not real.
They're not going to show up.
It's not a real threat.
But they could.
You don't know.
And you better operate under that premise that they could show up at any time.
That's
another name. We could show up at any time cleaners.
So that way you're in this constant state of fear.
Yeah, always panicked, always stressed. They could come at midnight. You never know.
You never know.
That one, maybe
put those dishes away.
Maybe they should show up once in a while to keep. That could be like the extra special package.
Deluxe package.
Yeah, deluxe package.
You got to pay extra for that one.
Yeah, to just live in this constant low-grade anxiety at all times. That someone will come over and shame you. And then what if there's like a social shame component where they like shame, so they all surround you in circle if you're not.
They put like a flag in your front yard saying like a non-tidier lives here.
Yeah. A nasty little person lives here.
I would cry if someone put that flag in front of my yard.
Well, you better start tidying then.
Start tidying. Gotta get it together.
They take a group picture with you on Facebook and they make you like hold up a sign.
Being like shame flag.
Yeah.
This person didn't tidy.
Yeah. Shame them publicly. I think we got something here.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in starting this business, reach out to us and let's get something going.
Yeah. Let us know if you like any of our names for this business.
Yeah.
Or if you're someone who's like, I'm not interested in starting the business, but I'm interested in hiring that business. Reach out to us so we can keep you in the loop.
Yeah, we'll get you in on our newsletter once that starts, get you on our list. We just want to know like customer interest so we can kind of gauge this business.
Yeah. Reach out to us.
Talk about the easiest business model of all time. You don't actually need cleaners because they're not showing up. Right. But they might.
They might. You don't know. You don't know. That's the whole point.
Yep, that's the whole point. All right. I'm glad we did that segment. Yeah. I miss it. We should do it more often. Not too soon.
Not too soon.
After. Let's not be crazy.
Eventually.
Yeah. Look out again because that'll be coming at you again. All right.
Did we ever make a song for this?
No. And I'm not going to think of one off the top of my head because now I'm trying and it's not going to happen.
Infodump. Dump, 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 dump. No, that's a bad song.
That's just
it's a different song, reworded.
What is that? Oh, coughing sack. Coughing to my sack.
Coughing sack song.
You just took my coughing sack song. Infodumps, come info in my dumps. No.
That doesn't sound right.
No.
We'll think of something. All right.
But speaking of that, we are on to our next segment, which in place of hobby collectors is Informative Infodumps.
So,
ba-bum.
Kind of like how we're going to like switch off with businesses should start, just not us, and quirks.
Yep.
We are also going to inconsistently switch off between hobby collectors and infodumps.
Informative infodumps.
Informative infodumps.
Yeah, just kind of like whenever we please, because it's our fucking podcast.
It's our podcast. We got to keep it interesting.
Got to keep you on your toes. Never know what's going to happen.
Inconsistency is our game. But not our name, because we're weirds of a feather. That's our name.
Yeah, that is our name.
Yeah,
get it right.
But yeah, you've got an info dump.
What is this?
Because my last info dump, what was it? Caterpillars?
Yeah, it was all about caterpillars.
And so now
we learned a lot.
Yeah, that was a really great info dump. But this is a long-term info dump for you.
I got a big dump because.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart.
Sure.
And I have been learning a lot about it today, and I want to dump on you guys about left-handedness.
Yeah, dump on me.
Dump on it. Oh, what if it's like a jump on it, dump on it type
Go
theme
dump
song?
on it.
Yeah.
Dump.
Parody law.
Yeah.
Dump on it. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Or
got a lot of good
Destiny's
stuff.
Child, instead of jumping, it's dumping.
How would it go? Let's hear.
Dumping.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the rest of the words.
And the club is dumping. Then you say,
dumping.
I think we got it.
We'll get there.
I think we nailed it. No, we're going to work on that behind the scenes off mic.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and it'll be like, wow, they just came up with such a good song without any stupid ideas in between.
Or musical background.
Yeah. But for now, we're just going to say informative infodumps.
Dump.
And, well, I was... Oh, my God.
Okay, one more time.
What you got?
Okay. The Law and Order special
the
victims.
dump. Yeah.
But it's informative info dumps. Dump. That's what I got.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. We'll work.
Not really a song, but
it's a jingle.
It's something. It's a sound that you made.
We could do like
these.
These
are their stories.
Yeah. Okay. We'll workshop.
We got a lot of good stuff in the works. Right. Yeah.
But we do have a really big dump for you.
Yes, I have a big dump. So while I was working on this informative info dump, I was really trying to put together like a cohesive, researched, info dump about left-handedness. And I was like, wait a minute, this is informative info dumps. When I info dump about something, it's a bunch of rapid fire facts that I know about this thing. Like that Julia Roberts is a stutterer. Like I just love to just give a bunch of facts that I've memorized. Mm-hmm. And so I've done some research, but for the most part, I'm just going to give you a bunch of facts about left-handedness.
Okay,
and
great.
A lot of them are not very nice.
Oh, good. Okay, great. You're left-handed.
Yes.
This is why you feel so strongly about it.
I am left-handed. Always have been. Always will be.
Okay.
No one forced me to use my right
unless
hand.
You lose your left hand.
You're right. And then I would have to switch. Actually, one of my facts that I didn't write down is that when an injury happens to your dominant hand, left-handed people are much better at adapting than right-handed people.
Well, because they've had to adapt their whole lives.
Yep, exactly.
They're used to it.
I've had to use a right-handed can opener. What's writing, Might as well.
There's certain things that I forget that are like for righties only. And
sharpeners. Classroom pencil sharpeners.
Oh, yeah.
Desks.
Field hockey sticks.
Spiral notebooks.
You can get a
are
special
the worst.
left-handed field hockey stick, but they're expensive.
Yeah, not worth it. The spiral notebooks are really the worst. And just like smudging, just like writing in general, going from left to right. All right.
Okay.
So what I've found out is that the reasons for left-handedness still largely remain a scientific mystery, which is very interesting. Like they still don't really understand why some people are left-handed. But here are some findings.
Okay.
So, from a Psychology Today article titled 8 New Scientific Findings About Left-Handedness by Sebastian Aucklenberg, PhD, there are approximately 708 million left-handers in the world, which is about 9.2% of the population. But you'll usually hear like 10% just to make it easier.
Yeah, round up.
Yeah, 10% of the people. Which is interesting because we, growing up, had a friend group of 10 of us.
Yeah.
We called ourselves 1 through 10.
Yeah.
And I was the only left-handed person in the group.
Yeah, that's
10%.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
I am the 10%.
What number were you?
8.
I was 9.
Oh, look at us. Another fun fact, humans are not the only species that shows left-handedness. In a recent meta-analysis of paw preferences in cats and dogs, about 36% to 46% of cats were left-pawed, and in dogs, about 31 to 53% were lefties.
How do you figure that out?
I don't know. Probably just
I want to know
whatever.
if my cats are lefties.
Yeah, you should do a little test. Maybe just like what one they reach out with more.
Oh, yeah, with like a little toy?
Yeah. See if any of them
Do you know if
use
Lucy's left-handed?
No.
Left pod?
I like handed, please. I'm going to check, though. Remind me after this because now I'm very interested. Yeah. I wonder if there's like a list of different activities that you have them do to like determine.
Right.
But this said that a lot of animals, actually, it's about half and half, where half are like right-sided dominant versus left-sided dominant. And humans are like one of the only species where it's like such a small percentage of us are left-handed. Like it's much more equal in dogs and cats where it's about like half and half.
Huh.
Yeah. So isn't that weird?
That is weird.
And I'm sure that, societal influence has a lot to do with it.
Right. Well, Christopher, he was left-handed, and then, I don't know, he, went to, a school from the 1950s, and they switched him.
It's of the devil.
The devil.
It's so ridiculous.
I know. I didn't know that was a thing that happened to, present-day people.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was people our age. All right, so I thought this was interesting. It was believed for a long time that a single gene would cause left-handedness, but it is now estimated that at least 30 to 40, but potentially up to 100 different genes influence handedness.
Whoa.
These genes are involved in areas like brain development and neurotransmitter systems, among others. So it really has a big
DNA is
influence.
crazy.
I know.
You know? They're just these weird protein instructions, and it makes up your whole being and consciousness.
Yeah, it is crazy. And left-handedness is very genetic, but neither of my parents are left-handed. I think only you have a 9% chance of having a left-handed kid if both of you are right-handed. So I am the 9% of the 10%.
I am the 9%.
Yeah, but neither of my parents are left-handed. No one in my family is left-handed that we know of.
Really?
And like you said, maybe, my grandparents or great-grandparents were forced to be right-handed when they were little. So
right.
Maybe, but no one that my parents know of in our family is left-handed. I'm the only one.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy? I'm a little special.
Are you sure Steve's the father?
I should check.
No, I am definitely sure.
It'd be a sad way to find out.
Are.
I inherited his missing teeth and his allergies. So yes, unfortunately, he is my father. So even though they have found these genes that lead to left-handedness, a large-scale twin study found that only 25% of the individual variants in handedness can be explained by genes, while the other 75% are determined by environmental influences.
Huh.
So that could be things like
epigenetics.
You grew up in a society that forced you to use your right hand because the left side is of the
Yeah.
devil. So
It's the devil.
Societally, it plays a much bigger part in handedness than just your genes.
Well, maybe that's why animals are.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because their society is different. They don't care. They're much more.
They got no rules.
They are much more. What's the word I'm looking for? Not accommodating.
Accepting?
Accepting.
Yeah, they accept all differences. And there was something also about snails and the way that they're, what'd you say?
They're shell spirals.
They're shell spiral.
You got righties or lefties.
Yeah, and they can't mate with others. I guess there's a story about a lefty snail who they were trying to find it a mate because they can't mate with a righty snail because their genitals don't line up properly. So this poor snail.
Don't they have to corkscrew? You know
something
what?
Crazy.
I don't know how snails mate. I don't know if I want to know, but I feel like it has something to do with the corkscrew shape.
I feel like that sounds right, and I think we should go with that. Because what is science other than guessing things?
Yeah.
And just saying it and now it's true.
I just feel like once you're on snail mating TikTok, there's no way to reverse that part of your algorithm.
Yeah, it's now that's where you are.
Now that's who you are.
Yeah, this is who you are now.
You are now.
Maybe I will go down that tunnel and that will be who I am now next time because I'm kind of interested. But spiraling sounds right. That poor lefty snail. All right, and then I just have a bunch of lefty fun facts from this other article called 62 Interesting Left-Handed Facts.
That's a lot of fun facts.
By Karen Lennart. I'm not going to read all of them, just some particular ones about...
62 is a lot.
Yeah, I didn't want to read quite that many, but I picked out some of my favorites. Some of them are my favorites because they're so terrible.
Okay, all right.
People do not like left-handed people. All right, so southpaws, which I don't love that terminology. That means left-handed.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why it's southpaws.
That doesn't... It should be
just north and
west
east and west. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It would be
who made that up?
Or would it be east paw? I guess it depends on which way you're facing.
Which way you're facing.
I'm picturing myself as the compass.
Oh, so I'm picturing me looking at you.
Oh. Well, that's why it's confusing. Yeah, so I guess southpaws is the way to go.
So I guess, maybe that's why they pick southpaw.
Yeah. All right. Southpaws make up about 3% of the population in the most peaceful primitive societies, but they make up about 27% in the most warlike ones. Researchers believe that in violent societies, left-handers may benefit from their unexpected left hook, which another article said that lefties actually perform better in sports overall, many different sports because of that reason. Oh. Because you're not expecting it.
My nephew's left-handed. He's kind of like an ambi-hander, but predominantly left.
Big lefty.
And he's really good at the baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, lefties do well in baseball. In softball, you can slap if you're lefty, which is like...
What is this?
Where you
just go to your...
You just start slapping people. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they never see it coming 'cause it's from the left
yeah.
side. No, it's where you can kind of like bunt, but you can also start running down the first base line as you're bunting because you're coming on that left. You're on the right side and you're batting lefty. So you can kind of like run and bunt. I never did it. It's very hard. But it's something you can do if you're left-handed. So there's that. But then you also can't play a lot of like the bases as an outfielder because of the way you pivot.
Oh.
So it's a trade-off.
All right.
Like third base is hard.
Oh,
but I think
would see how that would be hard.
Right? Because you got to like pivot in a circle to throw.
No, left. That was a really bad joke.
Oh.
Okay. Moving on.
Ah,
that was really bad.
But that's why I believe that I'm so good at air hockey because I'm hitting it from the other side and people like don't know what to do. It mixes up their brains.
Oh,
I'm
maybe.
very, very good at air
Probably.
hockey. And also I'm just like very skilled. You know. All right, I'm going to give a few more positive lefty facts before getting into the gruesome ones because the rest are atrocious.
Okay, I'm excited.
All right. Connections between the right and left sides of the brain are faster in left-handed people, which suggests that left-handers are more efficient multitaskers.
Oh, do you think you're an efficient multitasker?
Well, I feel like the ADHD kind of like cancels that out where I try to multitask.
Took any advantage you had.
Actually, I do think I'm a better multitasker than both you and Ian.
Well, the bar's really low there. So, I mean, sure. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Out of the three of us, I'm the best at multitasking.
You are. Yeah. I'll give you that one.
I think it's because I'm left-handed.
All right. Maybe.
Tests conducted by St. Lawrence University in New York found that there were more left-handed people with IQs over 140 than right-handed people.
Oh. That's good?
Yeah. I mean, it just means we have, there were more, although the IQ test is
I don't know what is
bullshit.
like a good IQ and what's a bad IQ.
I think 140 is like mental level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
I think
great.
that's like the requirement. But also the IQ test is bullshit and racist and classist. So what does that really mean?
Okay.
All right, now that's enough positive facts. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Let's get what we're all here for.
Yeah, enough praising us.
Yeah.
At various times in history, left-handedness has been seen as many things. A nasty habit, a mark of the devil, a sign of neurosis, rebellion, criminality, and homosexuality. Not that it's bad to be gay, but that's in the olden days. They definitely considered it so, and it was bad.
A nasty habit.
A nasty little habit.
Just trying to, like, write your name.
I know. I just, like, a mark of the devil. Come on. I'm just, trying to
using your left hand. Man.
Just prefer this hand over that one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
People are wild.
Yeah. Religion, man.
Way too upset about that.
I know. Just let me fucking live my life.
Right. Who cares?
Who cares? Although it has also been seen as a trait of creativity and musical abilities. And there are many, many celebrities that are left-handed.
Oh.
Like many. I'll read some of them.
Okay.
Later.
Okay.
The word left in English comes from the Anglo-Saxon word lift, which means weak or broken. Some civilization...
Oh, no.
There's a lot of those. It's like left in this language comes from this word.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, weak or broken. Some civilizations believed that left-handed people were sorcerers. For example, the Incas thought that left-handers were capable of healing and that they possessed magical abilities.
Nice.
That's nice.
Okay.
While in other places, it's the sign of the devil.
The devil, man.
Yeah. They can't decide. We're either like mystical, magical beings.
You know what? They can heal everybody, but they're also the devil.
Yeah. I think it's another fact was like during the Spanish Inquisition, more left-handed people were killed than righties. Like you were more likely to be killed.
Tell you I went to the Spanish Inquisition Museum in Spain.
Oh,
it was more about torture than the actual Spanish Inquisition. It was.
Did they have a section specifically for lefties?
No, they just had a lot of like graphic pictures and then like the actual instruments of torture. And people are creative when it comes to torture.
They are. They got a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
I kind of like historic torture devices.
I think the funniest part about the museum is you go through and it's kind of like overwhelming because it's just like death, 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 torture, death, Yeah. A lot. Graphics. And then you go to the top of it's like a 3-story building in Granada. And it's this beautiful city and everybody has like a terrace. So you get to the top of the building and then you have a little terrace and on top of this terrace, like right in the downtown area where there's like $1 million houses and these like really old buildings. There's a legit like fake gallows. So I'm like, could you imagine, like, right next door is just, like, a residential area. So, like, next door, you're, like, on your terrace, like, sipping coffee, and you just, like, look out to the gallows, or, like, the river, the houses on the river across, like, look out to the city and just see this gallow. Just, like...
Some people might have thought that was a selling point.
I mean...
People love to go watch hangings.
I mean, it was just, like... Well, it was, like... It was fake, obviously. It wasn't, like, used or anything. It was like, this is what it would look like.
Yes.
But it was just,
I guess having like a
could you
reconstruction.
imagine, like, you spend so much money on this house, you look out to the river and to the surrounding city, and it's just like,
do they do like cosplay with it?
No, it's just like there. It's like there, 24/7 though, just hanging, literally.
That seems worse. Yeah.
Yeah, just there.
Hey, remember when we used to do this?
Yeah, that's where the Inquisition Museum is.
Yep.
It was probably the highlight of the museum. It was just really funny.
That's nice.
It was a weird day. But, yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of places that liked to kill left-handed people, the German word for left-handed is linkish. I'm not going to get any of these right, but to me, it's linkish.
Sounds right to me.
Which means awkward or clumsy. Or maladroit, which I don't know what that word means. It sounds bad. Yeah. In Italian, the word is mancino, which is derived from crooked or maimed.
Oh,
and it's also used to mean deceitful or dishonest.
Oh, no.
And then in Russian, to be called a left-hander, a levha or a levya is a term of insult.
Oh, no.
Just a few fun language facts from around the world. Many artistic representations of the devil show him to be left-handed.
Ooh, that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's kind of badass. I like that. This fact on this list just made me cackle out loud. It's so mean for no reason. The Boston Strangler, Jack the Ripper, and Osama bin Laden were lefties. What the fuck? And you and I were talking about, like, how do they know that Jack the Ripper was left-handed? I thought the Boston Strangler had not been caught. So how do they know they were left-handed?
I wonder if it's like the Jack the Ripper, I'm like, they didn't know about like blood spatter patterns.
Even with blood spatter patterns is kind of like debunked. And same with like fiber, whatever.
Fiber matching?
Yes. All of that is bullshit. So I feel like whatever way they determined that Jack the Ripper was left-handed, I feel like it's discrimination against. They're just like, oh, must be of the devil.
We need to ask like a true crime podcast who's done a lot of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah,
about that. How would you know?
I know because I've never.
How would
heard...
you know? I think the Boston Strangler because he like strangles, so maybe like.
But do you use a dominant hand when you strangle? Like, how would you know?
I don't know. I've never strangled anybody. So,
I guess you do because whatever one is beneath. This is terrible. But whatever one is on the bottom, you would think is your dominant hand. Although maybe you could go the other way. I don't know if it necessarily indicates left-handedness more as like which one's on top when you strangle versus which one's on bottom. I'll look into that because I'm interested.
Well,
but the Osama bin Laden one was
this is really funny. Yeah.
It's a fun fact.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Cool.
Just someone you have a commonality with.
Yes. Yeah. I know. And I hate when I even just like in real life, not even talking about terrorists, but I hate when I meet someone I don't like and I find out they're left-handed. I'm like, damn it.
Or when you meet someone you don't like who has ADHD and you're like, dang.
Yes. I hate it.
I get frustrated myself. I'm like, why don't I like you? But can't like everybody.
You can't like everybody. Mm-hmm. And there's annoying ones out of every group.
Mm-hmm.
Many sources claim that left-handers may die as many as 9 years earlier
9
than right-handers.
years?
Yeah. So then you put that on top of like the
starvation because they couldn't open their cans.
Yeah. It probably has to do with like, the stressors of living in a society that is, it's not as... I wouldn't call it like...
How are they measuring this?
I don't know, but that's a thing that I've heard many times, like throughout my whole life about left-handers die. But I do feel like, I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, maybe it is a disability because a disability is like an exclusion from society or like having things be harder for you than for other people. But if it is a disability, it's extremely mild. But you do still have to navigate things just like not really being built for you in many different situations. And many people don't realize. Like even just using scissors. So fucking frustrating.
You know,
I get so mad. I go into a blind rage when I have to use right-handed scissors and they're like not cutting.
I don't understand why scissors can't be ambidextrous.
I think it's because the way that you're pulling the two blades together pulls them like apart on your left side versus like together on your right side.
Right.
I don't know. I've done a lot of thinking about it. I'm like, why don't these work? So
just like looking at a pair of scissors, I look at them and I say, you should be able to use this with both hands.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone needs to make an ambidextrous scissor. Businesses, someone should start.
I think they can't. I think you got to have left-handed scissors, which I do.
There's got to be a way. We have put people on the moon. We can make ambidextrous scissors.
Maybe one day.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We may know.
Yeah.
I think someone needs to make that.
Yeah, but even then, it's like because most people are right-handed, like all classrooms would just have the right-handed
Yeah, but imagine
ones,
if you could have the most inclusive scissors.
People don't want to be inclusive when there's only 10% of us who don't need them, you know?
I would get them.
Okay.
I'm right-handed, though. So I wouldn't need them, but I would get them.
Thank you.
Because you go to my house.
Oh, that's very inclusive of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was just thinking about how I think, what is the ADHD shortened life expectancy is like 13 years on average.
That one makes sense in my brain.
And then autism, I think, has some crazy number, like 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Shorter. So I have about a couple of years left to live between all of those things. I'm not looking too good in this math.
You just, tap into that 401k or whatever. You don't need it.
Totally. Yeah, that 401k, that is going strong. Another interesting fact that I learned, increased levels of testosterone in the womb have been shown to increase the chances of becoming left-handed.
Interesting.
Which they think that more men are left-handed than women. But this may explain the correlation that seems to exist between left-handedness and some immune disorders, as testosterone has been linked to immune disorders.
Really?
Isn't that interesting? So that could also play into the dying shorter.
Dying
more quickly.
Okay.
Immune disorders. We're also more likely to be dyslexic, autistic, and stutterers.
There you go.
And schizophrenic is another one that they said.
A little bit more unfortunate.
Yeah. There's a lot of disorders that I guess are correlated with being left-handed. So that's cool.
That really sucks. But that's so,
Yeah.
Stutterers. I wonder if it has to do with the brain. So remember when we were talking about dyslexia and how the brain pattern
It's like taking the back roads as opposed to the highway?
Yeah.
And remember I said the same thing is true with stuttering?
Stutterers.
And I know that stutterers are more likely to be left-handed. I did not know the dyslexia thing. So I think they're all connected.
We need like a board with some yarn.
Yeah.
It's all
Charlie style.
connected.
I didn't know the autistic part either, that left-handers are more likely to be autistic. That makes sense. I'm left-handed and I'm autistic.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I'm checking all the boxes.
Oh, yeah. I'm not dyslexic, though, and I'm not a stutterer. That's you.
That's me. And I'm right-handed.
Yeah. So, Also, if you are listening to this and you are a lefty, let me know. Let me know your input on all of these things because I'm very interested in just like learning more about this. All right. To balance out the Osama bin Laden thing, I wrote down some good left-handed celebrities.
Okay.
We got Barack Obama, Barry
Nice.
O, which I knew that one.
Barry O.
Barry O. Lady Gaga.
Nice.
Neil Armstrong.
Ooh.
Keanu Reeves.
I love that guy.
Me too. Great guy. Angelina Jolie.
Oh.
Jimi Hendrix, which, fun fact, he would play a right-handed guitar upside down. And he wouldn't restring it because you can do that and then restring it so the strings are still going the same way. But he would just play a right-handed guitar, flip it upside down, use his left hand to play.
That's
and he would just
wild.
like learn how to play backwards, essentially.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
I also don't really understand how guitars work, but that sounds
Just believe me when I say
me.
it's crazy. Yeah. Because then like the strings are flipped, normally when you're using a right-handed.
Because the strings are different sizes, like thicknesses, right?
Well, yes, but they're also different. The strings are different chords. The strings are different strings.
Strings
are different strings.
Ah, okay. So you got different strings, so he plays the strings backwards. instead of forwards.
Essentially, kind of. It's hard to explain, and I won't try.
All right. It sounds impressive.
Yeah, just trust me that it is.
Okay.
Mozart was left-handed.
Oh.
Babe Ruth, Judy Garland, and my one and only Celine Dion.
That's your girl, your top girl.
No wonder I was drawn to her as a child.
It was
I knew she was one of me.
Telepathic connection.
Yeah, I just knew we shared something.
Yeah.
Same with Osama bin Laden. Just always really connected. That's so terrible. Guys, I'm totally joking. We don't joke about terrorism here, but it's been long enough, right? It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
Make a dark joke. No, that's fine. And then some stutterers who are on this list, who I know on top of being left-handed are also stutterers. There's that connection. Julia Roberts is both lefty
I didn't know
and
she
a stutter.
was a stutterer.
Oh, yeah, she is.
You would have never known.
I knew. But yeah, you would But yeah, you would never know. Yeah, she doesn't really do anything. Like Marilyn Monroe is a stutterer, but I think I've talked about that before, how she uses that breathy voice.
Right.
Because it uses a different pathway, and then you can avoid stuttering if you use an accent or a different voice.
Oh.
Lewis Carroll is also a lefty who is also a stutterer. He wrote Alice in Wonderland. Right? Yes. And Morgan Freeman.
Oh, what? He's a stutterer?
He's a wicked stutterer.
Really?
Yeah. I think I've talked about him before, too. Where when he was 14, he was essentially nonverbal for years because his stutter was so severe. Yeah.
Oh, we got to do an episode on stuttering.
I know. I'm going to do it as an informative info dump in the future. Absolutely. Because I know a lot about it.
It might just need to be a meat section.
Yeah, it might have to be the whole episode.
I think
I got a lot to say.
You got a lot to say.
Yeah. People are interested. But for real, stuttering is interesting. And yeah, there's my list of celebs.
Nice.
My last fact is that the brains of left-handers process emotions differently than those of right-handers and are more susceptible to negative emotions such as anger.
You're not an angry person, though.
I can be. Depends. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm notably angrier.
I think the last time I saw you truly angry is when Ian didn't load and unload the dishwasher when you asked him to, which is justified.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were going to say earlier today when I was mad at Lucy for howling at me and not leaving me alone.
That's an everyday thing. I don't count that.
That's what I'm saying. I just have a low level of frustration sometimes.
I just think Lucy is frustrating.
Yeah, she's a lot. I think she was sent from God to get me to not have children. Hey, it could be this, but harder.
But worse.
And I'm like, no thanks. I'm all set with that.
Yeah.
All right, my last little bit about left-handedness. I just thought these were some fun little colloquialisms for left-handedness.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Just fun little names.
Like southpaw.
Yeah, southpaw. You got skivvy-handed. You got scrummy-handed.
Oh.
Kaggy-fisted.
Okay.
Cock-fisted. C-A-W-K.
Okay,
but still,
sure.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
Gibble-fisted.
Oh, I don't like that either.
Southpaw. And then cunny and ballock-handed. I think I like scrummy-handed and kaggy-fisted are my favorites.
Gibble-fisted makes me nervous.
Gibble-fisted is...
If someone was like, oh, that guy's a gibble-fisted, I would be like, is it contagious?
Oh, no, is he going to make it?
Yeah.
He's got a case of the gibble fist. I think scrummy-handed is my favorite, and I would like if you would refer to me as scrummy-handed from now on, please.
Okay, sure. You scrummy-hander.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like scrummy-handed. All right, and those were my facts about left-handedness.
Nice. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. I learned a lot.
I wonder how many...
hurt my feelings.
Well, so we have a lot of dyslexics. We have a lot of autistics. We have a lot of people who fit the comorbidities of left-handedness. So I wonder how many people are left-handed in our flock.
Yeah, I know.
I'll take a poll.
We'll have to do a poll.
And that will be a yes or no question.
Yes. Although you should
I should dexterous. Okay, so it won't be I take that back.
Yeah.
It won't be an yes or no.
Another fact said that only 2% of the population is truly ambidextrous. I think a lot of people can do it.
Oh, my dad. He can do it. It depends on what he's doing. So he writes with his right hand, but we went axe throwing and he was terrible. And then at the very end, he's like, let me try lefty. Nail the target every time.
That's
so then
weird.
We actually paid for an extra half hour so he could actually play.
Oh.
Because I felt so bad. He was doing really bad. But yeah, and he bats Like when we play wiffle ball, he'll do lefty bat, but then when you like play soccer, he'll do righty with his foot.
That's weird.
He's all over it. He's all over the road.
Usually it's like the reverse where people are left-handed. I call them fake lefties because I'm just a purist. But people who are left-handed and will write with their left hand, but then they do everything else right-sided, right-handed.
No, it's the opposite. He does a lot of things. And then, but it depends because like when he's like cutting food, he'll use the knife in the right hand. It's just like, it's totally, who knows? Who knows what he's going to do? Just depends on what his brain decides to do.
Was he forced to use his right hand as a child?
He's never told me that before.
Maybe it's suppressed.
Maybe.
Suppressed trauma.
But he I don't know if he's he's like a pseudo ambidextrous because if he tries to write with his left hand, it's bad handwriting.
Yeah, I think a pure ambidextrous person would be able to write the same way with both hands.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also don't know that much about ambidextrosity.
Ambidexterity.
Ambidexterity.
You got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know much about it.
I don't either. But only about 2% of the population is pure ambidextrous.
Yeah.
One more fact that I learned, I tried to cut down on them, but they're just living in my brain.
Yeah.
And so now I just got all these
Dump
left-handed facts in my brain.
Dump it.
Women who are pregnant in their 40s had 128% higher chance of having a left-handed baby than women in their 20s.
How old was your mom when she had you?
37. But with Lily, she was 40. And Lily's right-handed. So there goes that theory. But isn't that interesting?
Well, 37 is close to 40s.
Yeah, I know. But Lily was born even later than I was.
Crazy.
And she's right-handed. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And women who like go through trauma when they're pregnant, the baby's more likely to be left-handed.
Huh.
I know. So I feel like there's something there. But
who's doing these studies?
I don't know. There's a lot of
like, let's
random studies.
We want to follow traumatized pregnant women.
Okay, and another one was like left-handed people get more like react worse and have like more PTSD symptoms when shown like a scary scene from a movie. Is like left-handed people like handle it worse. It's like, what are all these very specific studies? Why are you scaring us? Why are you trying to scare us?
Leave the pregnant women alone.
I know. Leave us alone. Justice for the Scrummy-Handed is what I will say.
I think we both watched The Sixth Sense together.
Yeah.
I think
it was scary.
It was scary.
This is scary. All right, that was a lot of information about left-handedness.
It was.
Maybe everyone didn't care, but I don't care that they don't care because I'm saying it anyways. But now it's time to move on to alternative segments.
Wow!
Alternative
segments.
All right, on this week's alternative segments, we're doing silly ways I can see myself dying.
I'm excited for this one. We've talked about this multiple times. But this is the first time we've actually written it down.
Yeah, you and I have discussed it.
Yeah.
But we're finally doing it on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, Kristin, why don't you
I'll start first.
Because I just talked a lot.
Okay. I think I picture myself dying a lot of different ways, but
normal, nice and normal.
Hopefully,
I just like think about it a lot.
I think about death a lot.
Yeah.
But if I were to die in a silly way, it would definitely be from my lack of paying attention.
Yes. Overall, that's
the
theme here in this segment. Yeah.
And I think probably the number one way I would probably die is from like a chainsaw incident on a ladder because I've been doing that recently. Some chainsaw work on top of a ladder with no supervision.
Yeah, you seem pretty casual about it.
Yeah, the surgeon I work with has requested that I no longer tell him whether I'm doing that or not because it makes him too nervous.
I have this huge fear, and I can see you doing this, of like dropping the chainsaw and like falling onto it.
Well, here's the thing. It's a pole chainsaw, so it's about 8 feet away from me on a pole.
Pole, not pull.
Pole. P-O-L-E. Pole.
Pole chainsaw.
Yeah. So it's on an extension.
All right, maybe.
So I probably injure someone else more than myself.
Yeah, or you cut a branch like above your head, falls down onto you.
That actually almost happened, so.
Yeah, so that's realistic.
Some sort of like chainsaw incident, whether maybe the chainsaw isn't the thing that actually like does me in, but it'll be chainsaw related.
It'll be like a crazy Final Destination like sequence of events.
And isn't that the way you want to go? sometimes?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I'm not falling onto the chainsaw.
Yeah, because
that's my worst nightmare.
I want to at least like make it quick.
Yeah, just like send a branch down onto my head.
Boom.
Boom. Done.
Boom.
Yep. Like it.
Okay, so another way would be accidentally mixing cleaning chemicals and making like a mustard gas or something. Yeah.
Just dying in your bathroom.
I do look at the labels, but a lot of these are like, they have like 8 different ingredients and I'm like, whatever. Or I start using one thing and it doesn't do it. So then I'm like, well, here's some bleach. And then it's like, bah, mustard gas.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't even have to mix it like in the bucket. You could mix it like on the countertop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just accidentally make a mustard gas.
Knock myself out a little bit.
There's a lot of combinations of cleaning supplies that should not go together where I'm like, oh, good thing I read that list.
I say the same thing about cold medicines. There's so many like, that being said, I did try one when I had the flu and it actually was the only thing that worked. But I feel like there's so many cold medicines that are like 8 different ingredients in one, but they're labeled as like Alka-Seltzer or something. And so people who take medicines and then they take this like, they have their like regular medicines and then they take this like weird combination. They don't even know what the combination is. And then they're like overdosing themselves.
See that? Okay. Now that you say that, that's one I can see myself killing myself with.
Oh, add it to the list.
Accidentally taking medications together.
Call me before you take medications like that.
Probably not gonna.
Yeah.
Probably just gonna take them.
So, because when I had the flu, I was like, not writing down my dosage, but I had a mental list of like how much, because that's the number one thing that's in all the cold medicines is Tylenol. So if you're like taking Tylenol on top of a cold medicine because you didn't know Tylenol was in it, you're going to overdose yourself on Tylenol.
This isn't a death, but it would feel like it for me, is I'm always scared that I'm going to get pregnant because I've like accidentally...
Might as well be death.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I've accidentally like canceled out my birth control with some like there are a lot of like natural things like teas and stuff that it's like, just so you know, this will like make your birth control not work. So you shouldn't have a bunch of it.
Or like, so I have an IUD and I'm always worried it's like now it's been in there forever. And like I don't know if they're ever going to get it out, but but when I first had it, I was always checking the toilet to see if I like accidentally, if it like fell out or something.
Odd.
Because people, especially those who have had multiple children and they have maybe their cervix is a little bit
big,
larger. Yeah, I was going to say something else, but I don't think it was correct. It was a little bit larger. It can fall out. And this happened to my friend in PA school. Her cousin got accidentally pregnant because her IUD fell out and she didn't know. And they did all these scans because she's pregnant. And they're like, where the hell is the IUD? It's not there.
That's scary.
Was like, I heard that. She told me this story the day after I got my IUD. And I was like, why are you telling me this?
But you haven't had multiple children.
I haven't had
multiple children. You don't have a big cervix.
Unless you count my cats as my children.
Yes, and those would have a big impact on your cervix size.
Yeah.
So that ties in here.
So,
all right, what's your next one?
Okay, all right. So my next one would be like getting lost and accidentally either driving into like the woods off like a ravine or into a lake.
Yes.
Or just like walking into the woods and getting lost. And like not making my way out.
Just like laying down and dying.
Yeah. Just and it doesn't even have to be the woods. It probably could be like the mall or something. Just lay down and die.
Yeah. There's no hope.
I'm just not great with directions.
Yeah, I think you very Michael Scott style would follow the GPS off a cliff or into a lake.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
You'd be like, no, that's what the robot says.
It says this for a reason.
Yeah.
Christopher.
Boom.
Done.
You're done. You're done.
Dunzo.
In a ravine.
Yep,
that's plausible.
Yeah. And then accidentally eating something that's clearly labeled as poison. Because I couldn't bother to read the label.
Yeah, like it's probably fine.
It looks like a snack.
What are these little pictures? Yeah.
It's a cute little skull.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
It's Halloween themed.
Yeah.
You know.
I could see that one for you as well.
Yeah. Just like,
you're just like snacking with a spoon.
Yeah, on like rat poison.
Yeah.
Tastes different.
You would just shovel it down so fast you wouldn't even taste it. Yeah.
Just got to get something in my body, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What are your accidental ways silly little ways you're going to die?
Just silly little
little death ways.
All right. My first one is what made me come up with a segment to begin with because I was doing this and I was like, I could easily kill myself doing this. I'm really worried coming up from the basement stairs where our washing machines are. I'm worried that I'm going to bump the laundry basket like into the stairs and like
have
bounce myself backwards and fall down.
New England basement stairs.
Yes, they're like wooden and rickety.
Yeah,
and
like ever so slightly uneven.
Yeah, and so I'm
but
just
charming.
Yeah, it's so charming. But I'm just like every time I do it, I'm very close to just carrying the basket in front of me and like instead of just carrying it up, hitting it off the stair in front of me and like bouncing myself backwards, hitting my head on the cement floor.
Yeah,
dying, bleeding out. Boom, you're done. So that'd be a good one.
It's very Home Alone of you.
Yes, it would be. Very silly. Another one is walking out into traffic.
Oh, yes.
I've done that before.
We'll do it together, holding hands.
Yes.
By accident.
It won't be a suicide pact, but people might think it is. Because like, how else would they end up walking out into traffic together? Neither one
just jumped out.
Yeah. It's like, no, it was an accident. I did step out into traffic once when I was in Boston and someone pulled me back and grabbed me back, but I would have died. Yes.
Didn't someone just die because they walked into traffic, you mean?
I feel like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyway.
So I feel like that would be an easy not paying attention one for me to do. Boom, you're gone. Another one, not paying attention, like eating or drinking something that has expired, like really expired, and I just like take a bite of it because I'm just not like checking it properly. Like there's that whole like fried rice syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Where if you leave starches out, you die. Yeah.
Although, not that what I heard. We may need to take this out. I don't want to be judgmental.
Oh, that it like stunk?
Well, from what I heard, it was pasta left on the counter with the top open for over 7 days.
I heard it was 5 days, and I heard that like another roommate was like, "Oh, someone left their pasta out and put it back in the fridge."
Oh, that makes more sense.
And then the other guy came along, not realizing
he was like, pasta's there.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, pasta," and then took it out and ate it.
For sure, we're goners. How have we made it this long?
That's what I'm saying. But although I do have a very sensitive sense of smell, so I feel like that would deter me. But there are certain things where I'm just like, I'll just like eat it without paying attention, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially as pasta.
Like, or maybe
get in my belly.
And maybe I would take a bite of something and then I would look down. There's like maggots in it. Like I could see that happening.
Or
mold. Yep.
It happened to me this week.
It's happened to me many times.
I was eating grapes and then I looked down. I was like, "That's mold."
Yep, I do that a lot. I hate that, but for some reason I just keep doing it. Keep making that mistake.
Well, you're stronger for it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And then kind of like the medicine stuff, I could see myself like taking the wrong pill. And along those same lines, this is not death, but I can very easily see myself like blinding myself because I use something other than eye drops in my eyes, you know?
Oh my God, I almost did that to our roommate once.
What?
Yeah, you can beep her name out in college.
Oh, Eileen.
Yeah, because she ran out of, I don't know if she was like, it was something weird where she ran out of her eye drops. And I think I took something from like Megan's room or something, and it ended up being hydrogen peroxide.
Oh my God.
And so she put her contacts in there and then tried to put one in her eye, and she like clearly was like, "This is not contact solution."
Kristin.
I don't know. I don't wear contacts, so I was like, "This looks like contact solution." And I didn't read the label, and she
didn't have her contacts in.
She didn't have her contacts in.
Yeah,
we figured it out. She wore glasses for a while.
Yeah, probably didn't trust you ever again.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
don't trust me with reading labels. Are you kidding me?
I can see myself like not even just not reading the labels, like having the two bottles next to each other, and I just like knowing that that's super glue, but just like in my brain not processing it and like picking it up.
It's probably not.
And just like putting it in my eye, you know, and then being like, "Oh, that was not my eye drops."
Wow. Good thing you have two of them, so.
Yeah. I can always fall back.
Spare.
yeah. Just like your kidneys.
Yeah. You don't need both.
Yeah.
It helps.
Depth perception.
Yeah.
Who needs it? All right. Well, we might die in a silly way soon, but that's okay because this has been Alternative Segments! Alternative!
Segments.
Oh, segments. All right. Clip, clop.
All right.
Clip, clop. Clip, clop.
Oh, I hear it now.
Clip, clop. Clip, clop.
It's getting closer. Oh, we're in a full... That horse is in trouble.
Yeah, he needs help. But that's okay because he's
almost at the station.
Yeah.
So that's where he'll get that help.
He's going to see a medic at the station. It's okay. But first, we're going to force him to stop at the pizza shop because we want pizza. We don't care about you, horse. So that is to say, it's time for pizza secrets.
Pizza secrets, yeah.
We're getting really good at this.
Yeah, we are transition addicts.
Transition autos.
That's
is that what you're going for?
Yeah, that's way better.
Transition addicts is like we're addicted to transitions. We can't stop.
Keep transitioning.
The whole episode is just transitions.
Yeah. Oh God, that'd be the worst. Yeah.
But no, it's not another transition because that's the last one.
The horse is getting to the station.
He's dragging, but
he's getting there. But first, we are at the counter to get pizza.
Yep, telling some secrets at the pizza secrets counter.
Yep. Here we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Do that song. God damn it. All right. Pizza secrets. Tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets.
Pizza secrets.
Oh, yeah. All right. We just have 2 short little pizza secrets, which is good because we've been going for too long, like always.
I want to go first.
Okay.
Mine's short and sweet.
Okay, you go first.
This happened this week, so I feel like I should share it. It's
relevant,
fresh.
topical.
My coworker and I had a disagreement on, and nothing critical, but just like a mild disagreement on how to treat a patient. And so rather than having like an appropriate discussion and saying like, this is why I think we should do this, and then he'll go, this is why I think we should do this, I just waited because it was a Friday. Who's on call Saturday? It's me, not him. So then I just like changed it on Saturday.
All right. I think
patient's doing great.
There you go. That's all that matters. You knew you were right.
I knew I was right. And you know what? My surgeon agrees with me. So
there you go.
Rather than Anyway. Pizza secret.
I think that's just smart strategy.
I just didn't want to be in an argument. We had a lot going on.
You were like, yep, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
There, you can lie.
I go, that sounds fair.
I feel like you can lie if you can kind of like have a workaround. Like you're not blatantly
I can lie with
lying.
Conditions.
Yes.
It sounds
you're omitting.
okay.
Yeah, you're omitting it because it does sound okay.
It sounds okay.
But not as good as mine. I'm going to change it tomorrow.
Not as good as my idea. So.
You just leave that out.
Yeah,
It's not a lie if you believe it.
And then, it looks like things changed over the weekend. Anyway, pizza secret.
That's a good little one.
Yeah. What's your pizza secret?
Mine is just like a fun little embarrassing
No, I like
time.
these ones.
So when I was studying abroad in Australia, one day I was walking home from class and I thought I saw my friend Nora walking back to the dorms with another person like from super far away.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do this. I just set myself up. Like, just stay quiet unless you know for sure. So I started shouting her name and running to catch up with this group, like running quite a distance because they were far away. And
Across the whole green or something?
Literally it was. And then like way too late, I realized.
Arms flailing.
Yeah, I was waving like, Nora, wait for me. And I like realized way too late, it definitely was not Nora. It was a bunch of people I did not know. It was like a group of people, did not know who they were. There was no one else around. So I don't know who I would have been waving to if not them, but I was like, didn't know what to do. So I just kept running past them and I ran all the way home. Yeah, I just ran all the way home.
You just ran Nora all the way home?
Yes, and I just kept like waving.
They're like, where the fuck is Nora?
Who is she saying hi to? But I like, what else am I realized like very late, like, oh, that's not Nora.
They're like turning around being like, who is this girl?
So they all turn around. I was probably like 15 feet from them. Like, oh, that's a bunch of people.
Out of my way.
I got to get to Nora. She's all the way back home. And it was still a long distance back to the dorms. And I just ran the whole way home because I didn't know what else to do.
Oh my God.
Pizza secrets. It was so embarrassing. That's not the only time I've done that, but that is the only time when I have just kept running because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. When
normally
you're like, oh, you're not that person.
Normally I'm just like waving or saying someone's name and then I realize it's not them. Or the worst is when someone is waving and you think they're waving to you.
Oh, I hate
but it's
that
to
feeling.
someone behind you.
And you're like, damn it.
It's so embarrassing.
Or like when you're in the store with your friend and then you're like, oh, this is cute or something. And you turn around and it's like a total stranger.
Yep. Yes.
And you're like, oh.
Never mind. Yeah. I don't know which scenario is worse. I think the worst one.
That is the worst. Your scenario is because then you have to keep up running.
Yeah. You got to keep
That's
going.
The worst.
Or what else would you do? Like stop right before you get to them and be like, oh, I don't know you. And just stop,
and what do you do? Walk with them?
Behind them?
Behind them?
Like right behind them.
You made the right decision.
You got to run home.
You got to run home.
There's no other option.
There's no other option.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Full on sprint.
Probably ran like a mile and a half home.
Nora's at home being like, why are you so out of breath?
Yeah, why did I hear you shouting my name from really far away?
Nora's going to have like text messages being like, someone's looking for you.
Yeah, she's running all
like
over
hysterical.
campus. Yeah, waving her arms, screaming. Thought she was talking to us. She was making eye contact with us, but then she kept running past us. I don't know.
I just imagine you like parting the crowd being like, out of my way.
I'm looking for Nora. Move, people I don't know.
Are you
obviously.
Nora? No.
No. Who would think that? Not me.
Man.
I do think the worst is when you think someone's saying hi to you, but they're saying hi to someone behind you.
Yeah.
Because that one has
like,
an added layer of like, I
don't have friends.
I thought, I got excited. I thought they knew me, but no.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. All right. And that is our episode. And
all right.
What an episode it was.
What an episode. Yeah. If you like this episode.
What's going on?
And would like more episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on other places where you get podcasts, like the internet.
You know.
If you want to reach out to us, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to us. You can DM us on Instagram at Weirds of Feather. You can Facebook message us. We have a Facebook group you can join, or you can do old-fashioned style and
write us a letter.
You could. I mean,
no, don't.
Yeah, why don't you email us first at weirdsofeather@gmail.com. If you're like, I got to keep this horse train going, you can donate to us at
ko-fi.com/weirds-of-a-feather.
Yes, that's us.
Yeah.
You can buy us a coffee. Everything goes back to the podcast.
Yep. And if you are left-handed, please email us. Let us know because I want to gather all that info.
Right. Or if you know of a silly little way you're going to die, let us know. If you're morbid like us, let us know.
Yeah, isn't that a fun segment?
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun, guys?
Isn't that nice to think about your own mortality in a silly little way?
Yeah, just a fun little death. So let us know your fun little deaths.
Yeah, I'd love to hear them, and maybe we'll share them because it's spooky season, and we're going to keep it going.
Yep. You can write us in with your personal pizza secrets, whether it's a shitty little thing you did or something embarrassing socially that you feel shame about.
We'll take either one.
Yes. And it kind of does take the shame out of it when you share it on the podcast.
It's very cathartic.
We all kind of have a laugh, and we all
now it feels nice.
Can relate.
To get that out.
Yeah, it feels good that I finally told that story because I was by myself, and I don't think I've ever told anyone that story. Not even Nora. So now
does Nora listen?
No, we stopped being friends. We just natural.
Yeah.
Post studying abroad.
Yeah.
Reasons. Peter's my only friend that I have from studying abroad.
Peter. Is this meat candling Peter?
Meat candling Peter. Yes, it is.
It's meat candling Peter.
Meat.
Oh, yeah. I forget how the rest of the song goes, but it doesn't go well.
No, it kind of just trails off in a bunch of meats. We're going to get him on the podcast one day. I
Talk
promise.
About his meat candles.
Yes. We can tell our studying abroad stories, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
But I think that is it. Yes, we said all the things.
Yes, we said all the things.
All
we
right.
shared all the secrets.
Yeah.
And we hope to hear from you.
Please.
And we'll be back next week.
Let us hear from you. Oh, let us know about businesses someone should start. Let us know if you're interested in... we're coming over soon, so you better tidy up cleaners or whatever the fuck those names are that we came up with.
If you want to go halvesies in on this business, let us know.
Yeah.
You do all the work and we just have the idea.
Yeah. And by all the work, is just scheduling appointments for things that won't actually happen.
Actually come.
But they could. All right. We will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Ah! Ah! Ooh! Whoa.
That was yours. That's usually what you do.
Is it?
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Nice. Classic. Wow. All right.
That was a whimsical one.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. That was cute.